So this is John of BRAINSTORM Comics and Gaming. I'm here with Chris. Love me tender.
Didn't we already do that one?
Probably. I don't know.
We're just recycling now?
Recycling is very important. I think everybody should recycle.
The grand scheme of like the world things.
You're against recycling? You're against saving the world? Wow. I thought I knew you, Chris. Though. All right. Moving on, though. This is this week's Turning the Page.
Did I just get like gaslighted? I think that's what happened.
I don't know what just happened here. All right. But this week's Turning the Page. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Sure.
Turning the Page is where you and I discuss the news of the week, give our opinions on it. This week was a pretty slow week in terms of news and stuff, though. It's that holiday season. People are
holidaying it up.
Not putting out press releases, I guess, for
people are behaving themselves because of the holiday.
I guess.
I don't know.
That's a good thing, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Much better than the. Well, never mind. We'll keep it all positive.
I feel like we're on like a new table today, but I know it's not a new table. It's just maybe it's new to us.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's distracting for some reason. It's like too clean. I don't know.
Anyway, so this week's topics. Spider-Man has some lost things coming to light. Not only that, but Amazing Fantasy 15. You and I discussed this earlier. Big sale, a little less than what you and I thought it would sell for. Our Christmas wishes for Indies, Marvel, and DC. And I guess the industry as a whole as well. I actually have notes today, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. But,
oh, I mean, that's news to me. So
best Wednesday.
Cool. We're all in for a ride, kids.
And best Wednesday ever. So let's start off with the lost Spider-Man things coming out.
Just need some coffee. Cool.
The first one wasn't necessarily lost. It was the How to Read Comics the Marvel Way. It's a Spider-Man book that was supposed to come out 2 years ago, and it has been released digitally. We'll see whether we get to see it in print or not.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one was, apparently there was a 1970s Spider-Man movie that no one has ever... Well, I can't say no one, because apparently they showed it at a couple conventions in the 70s, but starred Kraven the Hunter, and it was the first Spider-Man movie, I guess, since...
Who was Spider-Man, though?
I forget who it was. I read it, but I read the article, but I didn't write down that note. What do you think about that? Would you like to see the long-lost Spider-Man movie released?
No.
No?
No. I mean, it's probably really bad. If it never, has come to light, it's probably terrible.
Well, apparently all they have is, 4 still frames from it, I think they said, or something like that. They're trying to track it.
This is how you know it's a really light week, because we're talking about 4 still frames from a mysterious Spider-Man movie from the 70s.
Maybe it's like the Blair Witch thing. Maybe Marvel's just making it up to...
What do you mean?
Like the Blair Witch isn't real?
They never said the Blair Witch was real, though.
Yeah, they did. They most definitely, yeah.
Like how we both immediately look at you.
Yes, no?
Yeah, it was a whole marketing thing.
Yeah.
That the Blair Witch was real? I don't know, maybe because, I lived 20 minutes away from Burkittsville, that, we were like, there's no Blair Witch.
No, it was their, like he said, their whole marketing thing. They had, a whole websites launched and everything. And
Wish there was a Blair Witch. It would have made that place interesting, but...
Alrighty, then.
Have you ever been to Burkittsville? There's nothing there.
I think I passed through there twice.
I'm sure you have. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I guess if it
so you can laugh at it.
I would watch it. Yeah, I'm not gonna go
You'd watch it Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Some Indiana Jones trek through the temple of Comic-Con history to find a lost 70s crappy Spider-Man movie.
You and your friends cracking jokes as you're there watching it, making fun of the terribleness. I'm sure the special effects are awesome. I'm sure it holds up.
Sure.
No.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. I don't know. You're just so enthusiastic right now. Your energy's really weird today. I'm not really sure what to do with it.
Anyway, I only got 4 hours sleep last night. I think I mentioned that in the last video, and the video before that, and the video before that also.
You complain about your lack of sleep a whole lot.
Because I get a lack of sleep. Anyway, I don't know. I'd like to see it. I think it would be interesting to see how they initially saw Spider-Man 50 years ago versus where he is.
I don't know if that's really a gauge for how they saw Spider-Man. It was the 70s. There was very limited...
Well, the 60s are a good indicator of how they saw Batman.
But I mean, that's classic.
Well, now it is.
Yeah, but back then it was still classic.
It was a top-rated show, but
it was like gold standard for Batman.
it also set Batman back. Like,
I don't know if you could say it's set back. I mean, you could argue that we're setting back Batman back right now. I mean, we went from like crime fighting duo dude to just amalgamation of all the mental messes you could imagine, with some violence in there for good measure.
maybe Hugo Strange is right.
And I love Batman. That's a. What did Hugo Strange say?
Well, he's just a doctor who can delve into his psychoses and stuff. But
Cool. That's.
no, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That one, I guess, flew over my head.
So you're not excited about this long lost?
No, I'm sorry to
Okay.
disappoint you. I am not excited about the long lost 70s Kraven the Hunter.
Do you think they'll ever do Craven and the?
I'm surprised they haven't done him now.
Yeah.
Like before now. You would. I mean, I know that he's not like.
Top tier.
But I mean, he kind of is, but he kind of isn't. You know what I mean? Like
He's one of the early villains.
Yeah, he's one of those ones that like. He wasn't part of the Sinister Six, if I remember correctly. No, I feel like they could have done Kraven so far. Maybe they're saving him. I don't know.
I think that Marvel should redo the way that they do these trilogies and focus more on the villains as being the arc instead of focusing on Peter. And
I mean, that's a bold statement to make right now with No Way Home dropping in like 2 days. And that's like all anybody is talking about ever.
this is the second highest rated MCU movie on Rotten Tomatoes,
I
apparently.
have not heard one negative thing about it.
I saw some negative things this morning, but
You always find negative things, apparently.
it was a headline I saw.
I don't know. I've heard nothing but positive things about it.
Like I said, apparently it's the second highest rated MCU film.
It ain't even come out yet.
Yeah.
Are you going to go see it? No. Of course not. Of course
I
not.
don't see movies. Or when I do, it's when they end up on Netflix or Disney Plus or.
And even then, apparently, you don't see them because all you ever say is how you don't read comic books or watch television shows.
I don't say I don't read comics. I do say I don't watch. I don't watch the movies though. You're the one that keeps saying I don't read comics.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you could hear an eye roll, you would have just heard me eye roll. So anyway, we've gone way off. Anyway, I'm here for it though. No, Kraven. I'm surprised they haven't done Kraven yet. I think they should do Kraven.
Who would you cast as Craven?
Oh man, who would be a good Kraven? Who's what's that? No, he can't because he's Aquaman now. But Jason Momoa would be a good Kraven, I think.
Yeah.
He has that like Kraven always has that like.
You don't want him to double dip.
I mean, he could double dip. He'd probably be way better at Kraven than he is at Aquaman. I mean, whoever Aquaman. That one's always kind of.
I can see the guy who plays Negan being Craven.
He would be a good Kraven too. Yeah, what's that guy's name?
I'm terrible with actors'
Jeremy
names.
something. Yeah, I'm terrible with names too. I mean, that's a whole another like what other Spider-Man villains besides like the big six would be good villains for Spider-Man that we haven't gotten yet. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a whole topic in and of itself.
Well, we'll have to visit that on next week's episode because I'm sure we'll need topics. Because I'm sure it'll be another slow news week.
We'll forget about it by then.
I have a notepad now.
Maybe you have to take your hands off them.
Off what? What are you talking
them
about?
fancy.
They're not in frame.
I wish the rest of the world could see what I can see right now.
Apparently, I wander when I do these videos.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Okay.
I say apparently because I see it in the videos as I watch them.
Are you like taking notes too while you're watching?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I got it mixed up with my enemies list though, and that was like a. Anyway, we're turning the page on that topic, and we're moving on to. Don't forget to LCS, like, comment, and subscribe to your local comic book shop, Brainstorm Comics Gaming's YouTube channel.
Sure. Do it. Yeah. Like, comment, hit the subscribe, hit the bell button, comment, tell us we're goons. I don't know. Tell us how wrong we are about everything.
Let us know what you think about our new thumbnails. Did you see the new thumbnail last week?
I did see the new thumbnail.
What do you think?
It's not me staring goofily at something, so I'm okay with it. God.
I'm gonna have to tell them.
Like, hey, do this cool internet show with us. It's going to be great. We're going to make you look like a dickhead the entire time. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. It's cool. I own it.
All right, moving on to topic number 2. So a couple months ago, we mentioned Amazing Fantasy 15, unrestored, 9.8, sold for $3.6 million.
Was that a couple months ago?
Yeah, it was like 2 months ago, I think.
Wow. Man, time is a weird soup.
Yeah.
It feels like last week or something.
Sold for like 3.6 million. So this week, a restored, signed by Stan Lee, 9.8, sold for $80K. Do you think that was a good bargain? Bad bargain?
I mean, it's an $80,000 comic book, man.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Stan Lee's not signing anymore, though. Unless you do the seance thing, like the Ouija board thing that one person did. So
I kind of want to do that. I so want to do that.
do an Amazing Fantasy 15.
God, I wonder if I can get a yellow label for that. Like, will CGCS or CBCS, like, will they recognize that?
I don't know.
If we channel him from the grave to sign through a psychic mediator?
I still need to find that story because I told you I was going to send it to you. I think I forgot to send it to
that's
you.
probably one of the better stories I've heard in a long time. I'm super about. I want to do it. So if you are a psychic and you want to channel Stan Lee for me to sign something,
Hit you up.
holla at your boy. 80K, 3 million. It's all silly money.
But it's
you know
sold for
what I mean?
2% of what the other one sold.
It's a restored book. Like
2%.
It's a
though.
restored book.
So you fall in that same category if it's restored. You
Yeah,
feel like it's not the
trash.
It's not
at
truly
that point.
the.
No.
Apparently, this one had extensive restoration. It had color touch. It had rice paper added to it. It had
At that point, it's not.
reinforced pages in order to keep them.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have paid it. If I had 80K to spend on that, I wouldn't have paid 80K for that book.
You would buy like a 2.0 instead,
A
2.5.
2.0, shoot. Can you get a 2.0 for that?
I think you could probably get up to a 80K. I think 3.0s are selling for like 80K.
Sure, I would much rather. Rather have a beat 3.0
I think it's 3.0s that are
than
selling
some
for 80K.
hyper restored 9.8. 100% of the time.
I don't know. If you have that kind of money, why not buy both? So you have the one that looks pretty that you leave out.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of money to drop on a restored book in general. I don't understand the restored market myself. I know a lot of people like restored books. They want things to present really nicely. For me, a comic book like that, like I want the wear. I want it to smell funny.
I think it sold for too little. Like, I don't know. Restored doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you, apparently. And I know it bothers the collector's market overall.
You also want to encapsulate everything in a chunk of plastic
Yeah.
and make it your life's mission, and I hate it. So we're very different on that avenue.
I don't want to do that. I've told you before. I think things should be read. However, the market is where it is, and it would be ludicrous not to.
That's where we differ. And watch us fight on turning the page.
So you don't think 80K was a little too low?
No, I think it's a little too much.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Apparently, I do that a lot. Just saying.
I don't know. I think 3.6 million was way too high for
I
the
mean,
one I sold a couple months ago.
that's a lot of money as well. But if it's a legit 9.8
Yeah.
with no restoration, I mean that's something special. That I understand. 80K for a book that's basically been rebuilt, and you might as well just have a fax missile in a slab.
It's the Bionic comic book.
I doubt that. And it's not even the $6 million comic book. Ooh. 3 old dudes got that joke.
We got there.
Was that where you were going the whole time? You were like, this is where I want to land.
And we're turning the page on that
Take a
topic.
long road to get there, but that's where I want to land at, sir.
We're turning the page on that topic.
Cool.
So we'll move on to the next one, getting to our Christmas wishes for the different companies. I know that one threw you for a loop. This falls into the same category as last week. Really, I really don't want to do the Christmas gift one, John.
Yeah.
What's your Christmas wish for indies? Or do you want me to start?
Oh, I didn't know I had to do one for like each company.
Oh, yeah. You want me to start then, since you didn't know?
Yeah, sure, because, once again.
My Christmas wish for indies is that they find something on the same level as Saga. I know Saga is relaunching in January, but they need something like that appeals outside of just the regular comic book shop goer, something that has good outside appeal to people who aren't necessarily just into comics. We had people coming in every 6 months when Saga was coming out regularly, like, hey, is that new graphic novel out for Saga? And it was people that were not coming in for anything else. They wanted Saga. So
I mean, I feel like that's like a genie in a bottle wish for
It
that
is.
one, buddy.
It is.
We just need to find another Saga. Like, just write another genius property. Write another amazing story. Okay.
There's amazing stories that come out all the time. It's just a matter of, like I said, hitting the cultural zeitgeist sort of thing. And
I mean, I feel like they got very lucky with some people who appreciated that book and talked about it on the internet and the television. And it deserves all the accolades it got. It deserves more.
yeah,
But that's like it's a 1 in a million thing, you know?
could be,
Could be.
could be. Walking Dead was the same way.
Yeah, I feel like Walking Dead was something that was just like right time, right place kind of deal.
Maybe Invincible's going to be the new one because of the Amazon thing. We have seen an uptick in the graphic novel sales for
Yeah, but I mean, that came out, what, 6 months ago?
about that.
Longer?
Boys is also still seeing some,
Yeah.
but I think there needs to be one that's coming out currently, not just something that's already been told.
I mean, Saga's not even coming out currently.
Yeah. Well, it started back in January.
Been on a hiatus.
We have a
for
couple weeks to go.
like a year now.
You've
or
waited
more.
a year and a half. You can
I
wait.
have.
You wait 4 more weeks.
I'm not the one. I'm not the one that brought it up. You brought it up. Don't project on me. Don't project your weirdness on me. I have no Christmas wish for indies. Indies are killing it right now. They
Really?
keep doing what they're doing. I wish them a Merry
You
Christmas.
don't wish Cullen Bunn wrote his 900th and the 99th
He can't. No,
title?
because the man can't sleep now. He's writing like 13 titles a month. Give him a break.
You don't wish James Tinian IV would write his 1,345th book of the month?
Why? Why would I want them to do anything more than they're doing now?
You don't wish that Tinian would continue. Oh, never mind.
We already talked about that. No, I wish them all cheer and goodwill.
So do I.
No, you want them to work harder. You're like, do more, do better.
Well, I do have a vested interest in that. So anyway, moving on. What's your Christmas wish for Marvel?
That they stop doing events every 10 minutes and putting 70,000 covers out for every book. It's ridiculous. Just stop it.
So I will say Marvel's putting out a lot of quality things, but I think they are missing one thing right now. So my Christmas wish for them is that they find a universal voice for their company. I feel like in the early 2000s they did a lot of big things. They had a lot of big names working for them, and they had a lot of workshops where all the writers got together and they mapped out the next year and the year after that. And I feel like that's kind of missing from that right now, from Marvel right now. I feel like there's a lot of disconnect between the different stories. Even though they're good, I feel like that they could have more connecting points that made it.
See, I don't even want them to connect. I want them to disconnect completely.
Really?
I would much rather, like, why can't we go back to just, like, why does everything have to be, like, a big, like, universal wide thing? Why can't Spider-Man do what Spider-Man does and the Hulk do what the Hulk does? And
But if something happens in Spider-Man that seems like it should affect the world, then it should be mentioned in other...
I mean, that's cool, but we don't got to make a thing about it.
Oh, I'm not saying like do like a huge big event or
But
anything.
that's what they do.
I understand, but that's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking just so it feels like the universe is more connected and cohesive, and that there's effects within the whole Marvel universe. Like the Devil's Reign thing, I'm hoping that it. I know
You
you're
need
not
Civil War 2.0?
I know you're not going to like what I say, but that it spills over into the other titles. And
I mean, it kind of is.
I know that they're doing a lot of one-shots and things like that.
Which is also silly. Like, quit doing the one-shots.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Stop doing the one-shots.
But I mean more within their actual titles and stuff, where at least it's mentioned in like a panel or two or something like that.
I buy that more than making a one-shot. I would much rather, like, have a mention of something in another book that's happening in another book that maybe you're like, oh, what's going on in Daredevil? Maybe I'll go read that issue. Then here's out of context one-shots for characters that we just want you to money.
I would say it might even be better for them to include like 6 extra pages in the regular ongoing for those 4 to 6 months that the miniseries is going on.
Sure.
And just try, I mean, you're not going to like this part, but charge like an extra $1 for those 6 to 10 pages. And
If the quality's there, like, I'm not going to complain about spending the money. I would rather spend the money on 4 to 6 extra pages in the back of a book than them put out 40 plus covers for one title.
well, then the other thing is if the reader of that main title reads those 6 pages and they like it, you have the chance to get them onto the other big event as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know, just my thought on that.
Yeah.
All right, what's our Christmas wish for DC Comics?
That they paid James Tynion more and he stayed.
I don't think money was the issue with that.
No, I don't think it was either. He said they offered them a whole, they
The
offered
most he
him
was
a
ever
whole lot
offered.
of money.
You want me to go?
Yeah, sure.
My Christmas wish is that people rediscover the greatness of the DC characters. I feel like DC is doing a lot of great books right now. I feel like people still felt kind of burnt from New 52 and Rebirth and the Infinite Frontier. Kind of like, oh, we're having our third relaunch and
Yeah, they should. Maybe I should wish
years.
that they don't do any more relaunches. That's probably my Christmas wish. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So,
It got a little
but they're
silly.
doing some great stuff, and like I said, I feel like people feel burnt from the previous two, and
Well, I mean, I feel like, especially Future State. Future State was kind of like a weird false start restart. It was like, oh, we're doing this new thing, Infinite Frontier,
first they
Future
said-
State, and then it was like, oh no, it's only kind of a mini thing. And
well, then they also said it didn't matter. They said, oh, it's just a filler thing, and then it actually ended up mattering. I was like, oh, it was poor marketing on there because a lot of our customers were like, oh, well, I'm just skipping it. They said it doesn't matter. And,
I mean, in the big scheme of things, it really didn't matter. Other than, I mean, there
well,
was
it's the
stuff,
future that they're trying to prevent.
It's a future they're trying to prevent. I guess it mattered a whole lot in the Bat books. There was a lot of stuff, people being other people and new people being Batman because Batman stuff. You know, if you read Batman, it's just Batman stuff. But yeah, that was a weird one for me. And like New 52, I thought was a great relaunch, but it went bad quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like they had good intentions. I feel like DC has just been chasing.
DC would have been smart if they followed the Marvel method with that, and that's instead of launching New 52 as a whole thing, they should have done like an Ultimate Universe and seen what worked in terms of updating the characters, and then implemented that into the main universe.
I mean, I feel like there was a lot of Ultimate stuff, and really only one character kind of mattered that came out of the Ultimate Universe. But
for 4 or 5, so I don't know if you remember, but before the Ultimate Universe started, the Marvel sales were not good at all. A lot of people felt disconnected from all of their mainstay characters.
well, I feel like also DC for a long time was kind of the, I don't know, they were like the more like safe, conservative,
classic superhero.
Yeah. Thank you for all those words. Those were all good words. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and now I think there's a rebirth. I don't want to say rebirth, but like I think that they're trying to make things a little more current now. The things that the characters are doing more current. I don't want to say
I think they're
darker.
trying to blend the two. I think they're trying to like update a lot of characters while also trying to get back to the classic.
I think they're also focusing more on stories now too.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Marvel is getting away from a little bit with just like these crazy events and stuff like that. And just rebooting title after title after title.
I think book for book, I think DC is doing the better stuff, but Marvel sales are still higher. And I know that the movies play a part in that because it's what people see front and center over and over again.
I was just having this discussion the other day with somebody. We were talking about like Titans and saying like how good DC TV is and how bad DC movies are, and where the disconnect is with that. Because if they were doing on the big screen what they're doing on the small screen, I think they would be kind of up there with I mean, the MCU stuff is just insanity. But yeah, I think people need to give DC a chance. I think people who kind of stopped reading DC books should maybe
come back to the fold.
I don't not necessarily come back to the fold, but just give something a chance that you wouldn't normally have given a chance. Like, I mean,
At the very least, the Black Label stuff, because like that's outside of continuity and it's easy.
It is outside of continuity. It's kind of a darker, more adult themed stuff. Catwoman: Lonely City was amazing. Yeah. It was super good, and I feel like if that book wasn't a Black Label book and it wasn't prestige, it would have been way bigger than it was because you really didn't hear anything about it. But it was super, super, super good. I was gonna mention something, but I feel like I'm just gonna start a fight if I mention it. We're gonna. So, Strange Adventures was super good. I know that's gonna make you angry, but
I made a promise. So moving on to
And I was trying to help you not break that promise.
moving on, we'll turn the page to the industry as a whole. What is your Christmas wish for the industry as a whole? I'll start on this one also. Keep this young talent pipeline coming. There's lots of great young writers in the industry right now. Lots of different takes on different characters. I think some very interesting stories are coming out from it. And also, I hope that people get back to reading the books, not just, which I know is weird because we're doing the investment videos also right now, but
you can read and invest, though.
I think so.
I feel like they're not mutually exclusive things.
So hopefully people get back into the reading aspect of it, not just like collecting to collector.
I would, as a whole, I would like the industry. I'm kind of with you on that one. I can't believe we're gonna agree on something. I wish the industry would kind of go back to story-driven, character-driven, art-driven stuff, and less on artist variants, store variants, first appearances, stuff that matters heavily in investment.
1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000.
Yes.
Which, if you had told me a year ago that there would be a 1 in 1,000, I'd be like, yeah, right.
I mean,
I know there's been ones before, but
there have been ones before, and I don't think they're doing any more 1 in 1,000s than they were doing in the past. But I feel like the industry is kind of going the way of speculation and investment heavily.
Even the writers for the industry are following it because they're like, oh, I'm going to get paid for creating a new character that might become a movie or a TV show.
Sure. Everything gets optioned immediately. So, I wish it would kind of get back to good stories. And I mean, not that there isn't good stories coming out now. There's some amazing stuff coming out now. But I wish people would maybe take a little more time to
enjoy it.
Read a book or two.
So much good stuff out there.
Yeah, there totally is.
Okay. So you and I agreed on that. Even though you tried to lure me into breaking my promise.
I didn't. I even said that I didn't want to do it. I just, I was trying to make a point that you brought up.
We'll turn the page and we'll go on to Best Wednesday Ever. Who's having the best Wednesday ever? It's where we talk about who we think or what we think is having a great week. You want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Old Man Logan. The Wastelands are having the best Wednesday ever.
Old superheroes having the best Wednesday ever. So you got Old Man Logan. You got Ben Reilly having his title also. Cloaked is about an old superhero from 25 years ago. Showed up, did some superheroics, disappeared. People were like, what happened to the character? Investigative reporter starts looking into it. Finds answers he probably doesn't want to find.
Yeah. No, I was talking about Wolverine, Wastelands Wolverine.
Yeah. No, it's all superheroes all together.
Yeah.
Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan, yeah.
This is the lone wolf and cub version of the character, apparently. He's protecting the baby Hulk.
I mean, that's what he was doing at the end of the other book, too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the original Old Man Logan run was super, super good, so I'm glad they're going back to this.
Steve McNiven art.
Yep. And I guess Peter's coming back, too, like old guy Peter, old guy Hawkeye. So we're going to get a bunch of old dudes again. I'm with it.
That's what I said. Old superheroes having the best Wednesday ever. It's just encapsulated into a bigger...
Yeah.
Okay. Young superheroes having the best Wednesday ever.
Yeah.
Miles Morales issue came out today. Strange Academy, the future of Strange Academy came out today.
Mm-hmm.
Batgirls with the two young Batgirls teaming up with Barbara Gordon. I know you and I are looking forward to that one because of Jorge Corona's art.
Mm-hmm.
And also the big announcement that Terry McGinnis is going to be in the next White Knight series by Sean Murphy. So Sean Murphy has done a great job of tying together all the pieces of the Batman mythos into a very comprehensive and cohesive...
You want to tell people who Terry McGinnis is in case they don't know?
Batman Beyond. Cool. I tried watching Batman Beyond when I was probably in college. Always got the same 4 episodes. It sucked.
It's such a good series.
I loved it. I just kept seeing.
You just kept saying the same 4. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I mean, it's good. Yeah. Those 4 episodes are probably really good.
Do you have another best Wednesday ever?
Yeah. God Country is having the best Wednesday ever.
And why is that?
Movie's coming.
Excited?
Yeah. That's probably my favorite thing that Donny Cates has ever done. I think his best work. That book was amazing. I think it's gonna be cool on the big screen too.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Great covers, having the best Wednesday ever. The Edgar Allan Poe Swifter of Death is a great looking cover, by Richard Williams. I know you bought 2 covers by Rose Besh today. I know she's one of your favorite up and coming. I guess she's arrived at this point. I mean,
She has arrived. I don't know if you follow her social media, but she's been doing a bunch of like all pink shade commissions that are perfect. Yeah, they're so good.
How many have you gotten?
None. I don't know. They're all like commissions from cons and stuff. Like I don't,
Batgirls, the Jorge Corona cover.
Yeah.
Robin and Batman #2, the Dustin Nguyen cover. And did you see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 124 cover? Kind of reminded me of Mike Mignola's art.
Oh yeah.
It's by Jody Nishijima.
Man, look at your notes paying off today. You're doing it. So proud of you.
I was ready.
You were just gung ho this week.
But no, that cover looked really nice.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking. Did Mike Mignola ever do anything with the Turtles? I think you could do some pretty cool.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah, I think you could do some pretty cool things if you could collaborate with.
Everything he does is cool. What are you talking about?
I know you love Mike Mignola.
That guy can't. Yeah, that dude. Everything he draws is weird and cool. I love it.
Yeah. Any other best Wednesdays ever?
I mean, you've covered a bunch of them. So yeah, no, I don't think anything else really.
Oh, okay. It was pretty good. Best Wednesday ever.
I mean, it was for
being a light week.
For being a kind of light week in books.
And then also the fact that we didn't get our DCs in.
Yeah, so I really can't comment about Batgirls or Robin and Batman or Future State Gotham or any. Yeah,
I'm hoping that will be fixed tomorrow. I'm hoping we get our shipment tomorrow.
That would be cool.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
I would be very, very happy.
I mean, my wallet won't be happy, but it'll just have to get over it like it does every week.
Well, we'll turn the page on the best Wednesday ever. And thank you for joining us, Chris. As always, don't forget to LCS, like, comment, and subscribe to your local comic book shop, Brainstorm Comics and Gaming YouTube channel. Don't forget to visit the store. We have 2 of them, one in Walkersville, Maryland. If you're into back issues, that is the store that you will want to go to. Or the Frederick location, if you are looking for a day trip, looking to go walk around downtown, do some holiday shopping.
Some board games.
Record stores downtown, restaurants, bars, a little bit of everything.
There's none of that in Walkersville. Just us.
Yeah.
We're the only cool thing in Walkersville.
I wouldn't say that. There's lots of them. Anyway, I do not.
No, you should say that. You should want everybody to come here just to see.
No, I do want them to come out here, but there's other great things out here as well. Magpies is right up the street.
Cool. We're the only cool thing in Walkersville.
So thank you for watching. Don't forget to LCS and have a good week.